Several days ago I saw this question on the camcorder subreddit. My knee-jerk reaction was that any camcorder priced $320 or less would capture memories of friends and family and maybe some trips, because this is what they are meant to do. But then doubt engulfed my mind. I navigated to the B&H website, consumer camcorders, filtered by price, and there is fake Minolta, eMeet, and Hamilton Bull. Oh, there is also Sony CX405 discontinued. So what has happened? Camera phones, of course, killed cheap pocket-sized camcorders. Advanced amateur camcorders soldier on, but just barely. Camcorders below, let's say, $600 mark have been completely wiped out. It's a desert now. The Sony CX405, introduced 10 years ago, is finally gone as well. So what do you do if you want a cheap, pocketable camcorder? Obviously you look at the used market. But first you need to decide on the workflow and media type. Your workflow can be tape-based or tapeless. Tape can be used for analog and digital video alike. With tape-based workflow, video can be dubbed onto another camcorder or videotape recorder or sent to a computer, which will be creating a corresponding file. If a digital video like DV or HDV is sent over a digital link like FireWire, the content of the file will match exactly the content of the tape. So it's a lossless copy. If a video is sent over analog link, the computer will encode it using a chosen codec, bitrate, and resolution. Either way, you need to spend as much time to transfer your footage from tape as it's needed to play it at normal speed. With tapeless workflow, the camera stores the video as a digital file, which then can be copied to a computer, usually over USB and usually faster than real time. The video doesn't degrade after it's copied because it's just a digital file. So I strongly advise against tape. It's an old technology. Consumer-grade tape-based camcorders have not been produced for 20 years. The mechanism is prone to failures. Tape disintegrates and becomes sticky over time, or it sheds magnetic particles. It was great tech for its time, but now we have much better storage solutions. I suggest staying with tapeless file-based workflow. Three common file-based media types are optical disc, hard disk drive, and solid-state media. I advise against optical discs. The workflow is fiddly: open disk, open session, close session, finalized disk, and unreliable. Also, mini DVDs like this used for HD can store only 15 minutes at 12 megabits per second data rate. It's a joke. I don't have a single DVD-based camcorder in my collection because I couldn't force myself to buy one. I just think that they are plain silly. From the two other media types, solid state is the best, in particular removable memory cards. Flash memory has finite amount of rewrites, after which it locks up. I have a camcorder with built-in flash memory, which became unwritable, and now and it also doesn't accept memory cards, so it's basically unusable. So removable memory cards are the best, and if your card gets damaged, you can always replace it with another card. They're dirt cheap right now. Built-in hard disk drive is a delicate device that must be protected from shocks, and it's also sensitive to low air pressure. Still, there are many 20-year-old camcorders with perfectly functioning hard disk drive, so if you can get one cheaply, then it's the second best option after flash media. Or get one that can use memory cards as well. If you want to shoot contemporary looking video, then obviously you need a high definition camcorder. Tape-based high definition consumer camcorders launched in 2003 under HDV moniker. Video was recorded on DV cassettes, small ones like this called mini DV, and large ones like this, just a regular size DV, and some cassettes even had HDV branding on them. I advise passing this enticing option and choose a tapeless camcorder. The format, known as AVC-HD, has originally been designed to be compatible with Blu-ray disc and used optical media, in particular 8cm DVD discs like this, but luckily it was quickly amended to use hard disk drives and memory cards, and the first hard disk drive model was released by Sony in October 2006. The first SD card model, this one, HDC SD1, was released by Panasonic in December 2006. It supports SDHC cards up to 32 GB, has 3CCD sensor block, optical image stabilization, and records Full HD video. Third-party batteries are available for about $20 a piece. I would call it the first modern camcorder. High definition, with removable solid-state media and file-based workflow. I have a separate video about it if you're interested. It just dawned on me that digital file-based camcorders were first released 20 years ago. This is mind-boggling, but if you're a zoomer, this is all that you've known. This is normal, this is how it should be, and I suggest keeping it that way. Digital video and file-based media are better than tape, especially analog tape, in every possible way. Here is another one I have, Canon HG10, the second Canon tapeless camcorder. The first one recorded on mini DVDs, like this, and no one remembers it. The HG10 has a single CMOS sensor instead of 3CD sensor like on this one, and it records on a built-in 40 GB hard disk drive, which is good for 5.5 hours of video. It can shoot at 24 frames per second, which was a very big deal back then. These are fine relics, obviously, but I suggest to start your search from 2010 to get 1080p recording format. If you're not an aspiring filmmaker who cannot imagine shooting with any other rate than 24 frames per second, then 1080p 60 or 1080p 50 for PAL regions is what you need. You get enough resolution to rival some lesser quality 4K cameras, you get the same smooth motion as broadcast TV, and you don't need to learn anything about interlaced video and how it should be treated before uploading to YouTube, just like you don't need to know how steam engine works. Here's the fine specimen, the Panasonic HDC SD600, a 3MOS camcorder that was sold on Amazon for only $300. It has an amazing combination of TechSharp lens, 3MOS sensor block, and 1080p 60 recording at 28 megabits per second, known as AVC-HD progressive. But you know, even better if you skip to 2011 for higher bitrate and a simpler MP4 container instead of convoluted AVC-HD directory structure. MP4 files recorded onto SDXC card can be larger than AVC-HD clips, which are limited to 4 or even 2 GB depending on the model. So this was about the time, 2010-2011, when I, like many others, started to lose interest in camcorder development. On the one hand, I was content with what I already had. On the other hand, I was having fun with DSLR-based video. First with the Nikon 3200, then with the Canon T4i, which I still have. By this time, small handheld camcorders reached a plateau. Further improvements were incremental. Panasonic shoehorned a second camera. JVC promised 4-way protection from shock and the elements, and Sony added a built-in projector. And this is my only camcorder that's newer than 2010. Actually, it's my son's camcorder. He won it as a prize in a local video contest. Beside the projector, it features a 30x lens, which starts at impressively wide 26.8 millimeters, balanced optical steady shot image stabilization, the aforementioned projector, and other goodies like 1080p 60 frame rate, 50 megabits per second XAVC-S recording mode, and NFC wireless connectivity to transfer video to a smartphone. Priced around $700 when it was released in 2015, it was not cheap. Sadly, the single small sensor does not deliver the same level of detail as the 3MOS system of the Panasonic SD600, which was the reason I sold the 4K camera I bought about 8 years ago. I figured I just didn't need it. So let me recap the features I recommend to look for in a small, inexpensive, likely previously owned camcorder. So first is solid state memory card as recording media. SDHC is the minimum. SDXC is even better to store large files for long shoots. Full HD obviously, because standard definition is a thing of the past. At the same time, the difference between Full HD and 4K is not as significant as between Full HD and standard definition. 1080p 50 for PAL regions or 1080p 60. This rate can be easily converted to 25 or 30 frames per second respectively to resemble the look of movies. You can also slow it down to half speed for natural slow motion. Simple MP4 container instead of AVC-HD 2.3. Regarding the bitrate, AVC-HD started from 12 megabits per second, which was then raised to 17, then to 24 megabits per second. AVC-HD 2.0 introduced AVC-HD progressive and raised the bitrate again to 28 megabits per second. And starting from 2011, some models that use MP4 container increased the bitrate to 35 megabits per second, which I think is a happy medium, although XAVC-S at 50 megabits per second is nice to have. What you need to do now is to search for camcorder launches between 2010 and say 2016 by 4 major Japanese brands: Canon, JVC, Panasonic and Sony. The models that were hundreds of dollars apart back then today cost almost the same, so look for high-end models. Second, for best automatic features, I would put Sony first, Panasonic and Canon close second, and JVC third, because JVC's autofocus and image stabilization is traditionally not as good as the others. And for the best manual features, Panasonic is the best, Canon is close second, Sony tended to omit most manual features even on higher price models, and JVC may offer more manual features than Sony, but the ergonomics is maddening. So search the camcorder announcements, go through the features and specs, read reviews and decide on what exactly do you need. In the meantime, I'm going to put some links in the description to help with your search. Now, what if you wanted the vintage look of the 90s? Can you have a digital file-based camcorder that produces video that looks like it was shot 30 years ago? And yes, you can. I will talk about it in my next video, so stay tuned, subscribe, like and comment, and every bit of interaction helps me to gain more views, so please do it. That's all for today. Thank you, goodbye.